we have the right. Yeah, it should stay on though.
There we go.
Touch it. Should we get
They stay on.
Should stay great.
Where are you taking
I
them to
just
eat?
noticed that is a mirror image.
We need to have these looked at. Because it doesn't seem like it's charging at all.
As long as. Wait, that's green.
Did it turn green?
Did for a second? Yeah. No,
No, it's red now.
it's green up there.
It's blinking.
Starfish is not connected for some reason. Over my head. Right. No service.
Is it not through the,
It says no service, so the phone line, where's the phone line to it?
phone line's plugged in, it's right there. Is there no internet to it?
Plugged it back in, see if that works. No.
It's initializing, on here at least. I know the last time we went ahead and went and had, you could hear it from mine.
I don't know, I've never seen that color.
It's a different color.
Flash, nice flash, yellow, right?
Give me just a second to see if it kicks on.
It must be booting.
It's rebooting.
But it said no service on that, so for whatever reason, it wasn't getting the signal. Now we want it. Nice.
Yes, I mean, just down here.
It's back up, it's back up to where it was before.
All right, it is 7:04. I'd like to call the February 9th Board of Trustees meeting to order. Would you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Heaston, would you please take the roll call?
Yes, good evening, everyone. Mr. Stubbs?
Here.
Mr. Rowland?
Here.
Mr. Potter? Here. All are present.
Are there any visitor comments tonight? All right, I will turn it over to.
I was just gonna make a
Sure.
I'm not as prepared because of busy business day, but, Janet and I attended a few zoning sessions, and, a lot of times the sidebar conversations you have are better than the actual, presentations, but, there was one lady that was particularly helpful, and she's done a lot of work with planned unit development, PUDs. And she said it would be really good if our township got ahead of this development before it happens, because farmers will be offered, tons of money for their farms, and they sell out, and there's really nothing you can do about it. And then if the developers pack the units onto land, it's the way they maximize their profits. So if we can put on minimums for the amount of land per unit that helps to control some of that. So that's one thing that the zoning commission will be taking up this year. I did talk with the folks from Miami University. I don't know, they always have a table
Yep.
there. And I asked them specifically about zoning, and because they've got some students who are specifically studying zoning. And as you know, I mentioned that we're all of about 25 miles away from campus, and that we would really like some help cleaning up our zoning resolution. It needs a lot of help. And so the professor I talked with, he's in charge of the department, Patrick, I think. He said he has students that could work on that, you know, for either a capstone or a winter term project or summer project. He's best of all, he said, I'll pay for it. So,
Yeah.
so you can't argue with that.
I know we had reached out a couple of years ago when the zoning position came open, and we actually got an applicant from Miami University, a student,
Mhm.
but it didn't work out. That didn't work out for transportation and all sorts of other reasons.
Sure.
But, yeah.
Yeah, so I think I told him I'd go down there and talk with him and see if there's something that we could work out for get some free help.
Yeah, they also do the source books too. I'm not sure if there's a
Yeah.
zoning one specifically, but they're the ones that create the source books and keep them up to date.
They do, yeah, yeah. Do we have one of those, Janet? Yeah, the most current one, I think.
Okay.
So also learned, we sat in on a session on planned comprehensive land use plans. Did you sat in on that as well, didn't you? Maybe not. Okay. So that is recommended by the OTA and by many experts that are on the subject of zoning. And they said that the plan or comprehensive land use plan lays the groundwork for your resolution. It's kind of a long-term plan, you know, as far as how you want things to, you know, go, because developers will come in eventually.
Right.
You know, we're on the edge of Carlisle, which is now a city. Got Germantown right in the middle. We've also got pressure coming from the south with the water districts, you know.
Yeah.
And as soon as those edge in, then you have water and sewer, and development goes very quickly. Not to mention Miami Township to the east. So we just need to prepare. If there's one message I got, it was that you need to get out ahead of it.
The land use plan specifically.
Yeah, that and the planned unit development. The lady I talked to, she was very experienced in this, and she said that as a zoning inspector, she's done all kinds of stuff in township work. She said the planned unit development PUD is maybe more important than getting ahead of everything else.
Okay. That's the
Because-
first I've heard of that.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Yeah. That's one of those casual conversations you have that are really, they strike you. So anyway, that we picked up on a bunch of other things. So the agritourism, they've upped some of the requirements on fire suppression systems. You know, that a lot of times they've had barns that are, you know, full of 250 people, and you don't have the requirements of any other structure. So
Township had that.
yeah, it sure did. Yeah. So anyway, there's other things I don't want to go too far on, but I just want to let you know that I got a lot out of it. So
Perfect. And I think the zoning commission to take that up, because you guys have done a great job with like the solar, the marijuana, to get stuff on our books and
mhm,
get us ahead of the game on those things. So
yeah, I'll be working with Jim and Janet and the team to do that. And we have a date, next Monday? Monday to talk with, Valerie. About how to get, better volunteerism on some of the boards.
Yeah.
And, so it's really the idea of a recruitment committee to find talent. For instance, it would really be great if both zoning boards had a couple of attorneys on there.
Oh, we did have two at a time, but the one wasn't, he stepped down, so. Because you've got Mr. Kohler.
Yeah, he's great.
Mr. Doles was on there for a while too, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep, stepping in.
Yeah, but the rest of us are amateurs when it comes to understanding law. So it's really good. If we could have a recruitment of talent.
Yeah.
You know, and for that matter, all the other boards that are out there where, you know, they have trouble getting quorums and other things. So it's just, you know, maybe try to up that thing. So we're going to talk about that.
I know when in the past, this is years ago, 10 years ago, we were trying to keep, if we put an advertisement out, and I know that's not necessarily the right way to go get people, but we would keep the names of all the people that we talked to, just in case we had just to keep them in like a bank.
Sure.
So we had people available if there was an opening that did arise unexpectedly or whatever, so.
Yeah.
I think, are we good on alternates at the moment?
All of the boards are
So all the boards are full, and we added the alternate position
2 zoning boards.
to
Yeah,
zoning
the
board, right?
BZA and the zoning commission are both full
And,
right now.
yeah, just several years ago, we added the second alternate position to one of the boards, so the other, to make sure trying to make sure we had enough people for a quorum at all the meetings.
Mhm. Well, whether it be the Parks Board or the Pool Board or whatever, you know, that you have a situation where, yeah, they're on the board, but they don't show up, you know, so they can't even get a quorum.
Right.
Which, you know, then you get the 2 or 3 that show up and it's really just demoralizing.
Yeah.
So, so that's something you know, that we'll talk about and see if there's any kind of interest in doing that.
Perfect.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Jacoby, I'm not sure, did you state your name at the beginning?
Oh, I didn't. You're right.
If you could please introduce
For
yourself.
Jacoby, Harris Road.
Thank you. Any other visitor comments tonight? I'll go ahead and turn it over to Mr. Houston.
Okay, let me turn on my camera. Good evening again, everyone. Let's start out as we always do with the minutes. These are the minutes from January 2nd. I'm sorry, January 12th. Are there any corrections or additions?
I did not see any.
Can I have a motion to approve then?
I will make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. I've also given you the January financial reports. You have the fund status as of the end of January. You have the month of January, which of course is also the year-to-date cash summary by fund. You have the January receipts as well as the January payments. And there were no unusual items that I want to note. So unless there are any questions, I'd like to have a motion to approve the financial reports and authorize the payment of January bills.
Make a motion that we approve the minute,
Can you go further through the listing the voucher numbers and the warrants?
I'll make a motion to approve the January financial reports and authorize the payment of January bills, warrants 50927 through 50936, and vouchers 1 through 90 for payroll, direct deposit, tax withholdings, and other electronic payments.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Oh, any opposed? Sorry. Thank you. All right. I have now completed the 2025 annual financial report, and I've submitted the financial statements and the footnotes, excuse me, to the Ohio Auditor of State. A notice of the availability to review the annual report here at the Township Hall was published in the Germantown Press on January 22nd. The annual report can also be downloaded from the homepage of our township's website. And on the website, there's also a hyperlink on the homepage which will access the township's 2025 financial transactions, which can be found on the Ohio Checkbook website. The auditor of state has already started preliminary work for the 2024-2025 audit of the township's books. And actually, since I wrote this, I would say we're not so much in preliminary anymore. We're in the audit. Unlike the past 3 audits, which were limited in scope, this one will be a full audit. Township employees may be asked to complete questionnaires as the audit progresses, and I will update you every month on the status of the audit. Following last month's presentation by Shoemaker Technology Group, they called in remotely and presented to us how they could help us develop a new website. We then subsequently received their proposal. As I said, AJ Skidmore did attend last month's meeting. You, Mr. Stubbs, asked him to give us a proposal for the mid plan, which I think was $12.95 to set up. And so here's where we are at this point. We have their proposal. It should, whatever they do for us, would meet the Department of Justice's disability accessibility requirements that we must have in place by April of next year. So what, if anything, would we like to do at this point?
So one of the recommendations they had was to switch us to a .gov. And I just really hate to move again to another different, is that a requirement or is that just a suggestion?
I think that was a suggestion that he made.
Jake, one thing that you can do is we can keep our existing .org and do what's called a redirect, so we can officially be a .gov.
Okay.
So if somebody goes to germantownship.org, it will forward them.
Oh, I was just like, our email, everything's gonna change again. Like, we just changed it. I hated to do that. Would that work then too? So would our emails stay the same or would we have to update them again? And whatever it's gonna be is gonna be German Township dot Montgomery. It's gonna be this long. That's gonna be the problem of it too.
Just for the recording, that was Mark Keener speaking.
So that was my concern with switching to a .gov. I know we looked into it before and there was requirements that were beyond what we felt we needed. And then you're also going to get super long with your name and it's going to be oh.gov or whatever, isn't it? It's going to be included.
us.gov.
Right. So
Might just be a .gov.
other than that, I think their proposal is reasonable. It gets us in compliance. It's another unfunded mandate that we have to be forced to look into.
Yeah, at the conference, there was another company that does it and their, the prices were a lot better with the STG and also, like their annual fees there were like $540 for their cheapest and like $1,100. And that's an annual fee that you pay every year. And I think that with Shoemaker, there's like, what they say, 3 something is what their annual fee is.
It was the one time
There's a
$12.95 and then it was the
3.
The hosting fee that we would pay every.
Yeah, the yearly fee is where they were a lot cheaper than everybody else. And also they had options for us to do other stuff with them, which these other people charge for extra stuff. So from what I saw, it's the best proposal that we're gonna get.
So I'm comfortable to move forward with the Shoemaker Technology Group. Oh, I'm sorry.
Bert Jacoby, Harris Road. I think when Shoemaker was on the screen there last time, we asked some references.
There are a ton of them in here from different townships mostly in Michigan. But they've done over 300 government websites that they've created.
And they have templates that they'll use that you can get online and look at the different templates and they're nice.
And in addition, the Ohio Township Association did that before they created this partnership with STG. So I'm sure they looked at other providers also, probably similar situation.
So
what
we're getting,
Mr. Rowland found.
we're getting better pricing too with the Ohio Township Association's service for, that they've created, and they're through them as well.
If you're ready to move forward, all we need to do is do a resolution.
Does anybody have any other questions or concerns? Okay, what's the resolution number?
It's going to be number 15.
I would like to introduce resolution 2026-15, a resolution to contract with Shoemaker Technology Group to upgrade our website to be compliant with the, I lost my train of thought, the
The Department of Justice.
Department of Justice's disabilities accessibility requirement.
And you want to indicate the level that we're,
And we're going to do the.
Silver.
Was it silver? For the price of $12.95.
Yes.
is there a second to the,
I'll second that.
any discussion of the resolution? Hearing none, I will call the roll. Mr. Stubbs?
Yes.
Mr. Rowland?
Yes.
Mr. Potter?
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution 2026-15 is adopted. I will reach out to AJ Skidmore, tell him that you've approved that $12.95 package with, of course, some of the other items that are required by that. And we'll see how we move forward from there.
And I talked with AJ and the owner, which was Shoemaker, briefly at the conference, and they seem like they really got it together. They had a nice setup. I think this is gonna be good. I hate to spend the money, because I think our website's actually decent, but we have to get compliant with the federal guidelines, so.
And their websites that I saw, they had their example ones and all of them had calendars on them and there's a lot of nice things that were on them that we don't have in our website right now anyway.
Our current website is certainly better than the website we had when I came here to the township. But there were many things about it that I don't like, so hopefully we will end up with a much better product than we are having. Okay, moving on. I have not yet set up the new creek maintenance fund that you approved last month and moved the $10,000 from the general fund over to that fund. I reached out to the Auditor of State's Local Government Services Office to determine the most appropriate type of fund to establish and also find out whether or not that new fund will be able to receive interest. So I'm going back and forth with Tyler Butler in the Local Government Service Office. Hopefully that'll get done before next month's meeting. I attended my last meeting as treasurer of the Western Regional Council of Governments on January 20th. At that meeting, Jackson Township Fiscal Officer Elizabeth Kazarik was elected as the new WRCG treasurer. And Mrs. Kazarik and I met Friday morning during the snowstorm at Huntington Bank, and we transferred signature authority for the bank account. So she now has control of the account. Now, when I was with Mrs. Kazarik, she told me that Jackson Township the day prior, which that was last Thursday, met with Doug, I'm going to try to pronounce his last name, Rudisili, or something close to that. It was with Elite Computers, and he reviewed how his firm could implement the technical and training cybersecurity program that the state mandates be in place by June 30th of this year. She, as well as I think some of the others who attended that presentation, were impressed. I talked to Mike Moyer at an event I was at on Sunday, and he told me he was also impressed with the presentation. And so both of them anticipate that Jackson Township is going to move forward with Elite Computers. Elite already provides cyber services to Germantown, Springboro, Clear Creek Township, Franklin Township, Miami Valley Fire District, Jefferson Regional Water Authority, Jefferson Township, and Turtle Creek Township. Now, last month, we talked about inviting Sean Waldman of Secure Cyber to our March meeting. And given this new option, would you rather have a presentation from Elite Computers? What would you like?
Yeah, if we can schedule that with Elite Computers, and then also the Ohio Cyber Range Institute has cyber training for employees. I'm not sure how far in it'll go, if it completely satisfies it, but it is set up by the state of Ohio through they're at UC. They'll customize a free service to what you need, what your specific size and what your need is at the township. So the Ohio Cyber Range Institute may be another avenue to go, and it is free.
You want to start with them
I think
in
that
March?
would make the most sense. So I can go ahead and sign this up to or get started in the process at least, and see if I can get them to come at the March meeting.
And since we're beginning to run out of time, if we need to schedule a special meeting,
Sure.
we could probably do that.
Um,
But you'll check in with them and
Yep.
come up with something. Okay.
Is it possible to hear from both of them?
At the same meeting?
So I'm just,
You could.
since we're running up against time and need to make a decision.
Well, hopefully I'm hoping the Cyber Range Institute, which is free, will satisfy all of it. No cost to us, but if it won't, then we're right. We kind of get pushed a little close to that deadline.
Just wonder why everybody else ain't using it free.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm just concerned about whether they're totally compliant with everything.
Well, this is set up through the state of Ohio. They're the ones that set this up. So, but I don't know if it goes all the way in depth. We'll find out and
I know.
report back.
Maybe we
Worth
should
checking out anyway.
plan a special meeting
And if
once we know more about that.
that's what I was gonna say, if I get information back where I think we need to have a special meeting, we can go ahead and get one on the books.
Okay. Okay, moving on. We received a notice that I sent to you dated February 5th from the Ohio Department of Natural Resources that Hollinghead Materials LLC, which I presume is a company connected to SRM Materials, they have submitted an industrial minerals mining permit application proposing to expand their existing operation. And this application is for 39.5 acres southeast of the intersection of Butter Street and Farmington Road. The notice we received indicates that any comments and/or concerns should be forwarded within 30 days of the February 5th notice. Additionally, an informal conference conducted by the Division of Mineral Resources Management may be requested in writing and must be received within 35 days of the February 5th notice. Would you like to take any action in regard to this?
I have contacted our council and sent her the letter to get advice as to what we should do with it, as how we should respond. Because this is exactly the same property that we have with the Supreme Court, and Hollingshead Material is actually, it's just an LLC of SRM. So it's the same. The CEO of SRM is actually the manager of Hollingshead Materials LLC. So it's one big company that's trying, again, it's the same. They asked for 22 acres in our last one, and now they're asking for the entire 39 acres in that little plot that's around the red house there on Farmington. So this would even be bigger than what we've rejected already.
Did you contact the prosecutor's office or?
I contacted the Catherine Barbier,
Okay.
who's taking care of the Supreme Court case to see how we should
Perfect.
how we should respond. But I told her I read it and I really didn't know how we should respond to it, because it seems like there's already a legal case on this. But she seemed to seem like that if it was a different application, that they're allowed to do a different application for a permit. So I'm not sure what she just was able to get it to her today.
When you talk to her, I would probably loop in the prosecutor's office too,
Okay,
in case it goes beyond the scope of
Okay.
what the loss or their suit is. So
so get a new.
to get her involved as well.
Also.
Do we request the meeting?
Well, I think that's what he's asking about, but yes,
Give the residents somewhere to voice their concerns?
absolutely.
You know, I mean, if they're gonna offer that, I think, you know, the people involved will speak
Well, I think,
loudly.
yeah. And there's noise pollution,
Right.
water, groundwater pollution.
But
There's lots of different.
the
areas.
problem is when they refer in the letter, they refer to that ORC 1514-022, which ties our hands and makes it to where we're only allowed to reject their stuff based upon
Health and safety.
safety and public health.
Well, that's where the groundwater and.
Well, no,
Yeah, so I think,
I was just thinking more of giving those people who took the time to come to the
Absolutely.
zoning meeting a voice at a different level, you know, with the mining commission or whatever it is.
and I,
The Ohio Department of Natural Resources.
so, yeah, I know, Mr. Raymer would be very interested in the meeting.
A lot of people on that
So-
side of town would.
You may want to have the attorney do both. Request a meeting as well as express concerns.
Okay.
In writing.
Yeah, just state your name.
James Rollins, third, Pearl Pike, 1017 Pearl Pike. So if they're planning to expand their existing operations, the land that it's on is zoned industrial, correct? Currently? All their operations are industrial?
No, the stuff, what they're on right now is, remember, where they're doing the processing and the Whittle Farm are all I2, I believe.
And
What
that
they-
is agriculture.
That is agriculture is what they're looking.
Because it was denied like 5 years ago. They tried to rezone this parcel that they keep trying. They tried to rezone it and it was rejected industrial, so it's still agricultural.
It's still agricultural.
Okay. So I just was wondering, I'm sure when you talk to lawyers, how can they expand operations of an industrial thing onto an agricultural thing? And I just want to make that comment. Doesn't seem like that would work. Otherwise, it's a loophole to just have to have anything approved through a zoning board. You just,
Yeah, that seems to be a bit of the problem at the moment, that they can get away with whatever. Maybe,
Abigail,
yeah,
Abigail Dennis, I just wanted to ask, they went up to the Supreme Court with this though,
yes.
and we were told basically that they could do it, right? Our BZA could not,
It's still pending in the Supreme Court.
okay, it's still pending, because I know the meeting, we were talking about having the money to go fight, you know.
Yeah, well,
our,
so insurance picked up the case.
Okay.
And kept it, so there's no cost, no additional cost to us, but it's still pending in court.
Okay, I wondered, because I hadn't been to a couple meetings, and I didn't know where that was at.
Yeah, we've responded, they've responded, and now the court's looking at it to decide to make a decision and put up, their written decision.
Okay,
I keep watching on
Can
that.
I ask a question?
Sure.
David around Kiefer Road, or 14239 Kiefer Road. Is there any hearings at the Supreme Court hearings scheduled on this matter? Does it have a docket number that we can look up or find?
Yes,
You can look it up.
there is a docket number. It is 2025-1515. Yeah, so and I'm not sure of the website, but if you go onto the Ohio Supreme Court and there's a page where you can type in the year, so that's the 2025. And then the docket number is 1515, and it has all the paperwork that's been filed. But I don't think there's any hearings because I don't think there's any.
Has it been argued before the Supreme
I
Court?
don't know. I'm not. Yeah.
You can do the same thing with county cases as well.
I know if you Google search German Township SRM, it pops, it's one of the first things that pops up, the Supreme Court.
So we have a plan?
Thank you. Yes.
Are you good with that?
So I need to request or see if we can get a meeting request.
Get the attorneys to request the meeting,
Okay. And
which most likely will be through, I would guess a new, but I'm not. Barbier may say something different, but I would assume it's through a new because this is separate from
Clear.
what they're going through right now. Would be my guess.
You're right, Jake. RBR.
She's limited.
It's one thing.
Yeah, that's her, her focus is that, and this is separate.
well, if this is in conflict with the case that she's working though, because it's on the same property.
I think she needs to know about it, but I'm not sure she's gonna be able to advise you
All
on
right.
it.
I'll get with,
RBR's got one assigned.
I'll get with the new on it then.
I
Yes,
don't believe she was copied on this notice we received.
RBR has it because I sent it to her, but I have not sent it, but I have not sent it to a new yet. So I'll get it sent to a new. So she has got it today. I will get it to it. I'll get the other one to a new.
We're only 4 days into our 30-day first window or 35-day for the actual conference. Okay.
Sorry, James, only I had a follow-up. So I'm assuming our response is due before next month's meeting?
Next month's meeting will be on the 9th. Yes, it would be due before yes, the comments would be.
Would there be a special meeting or something if the attorney said that you should have a public meeting to let affected properties come and voice their opinion for the 5th time, but
I think it just puts the meeting on I don't think the meeting's gonna happen in the next 35 days. I think we're gonna request it, but I don't think they're gonna have it in that time frame.
To Mr. Rowland's question, I think you will probably need a special meeting. The attorney will advise you, but you'll probably need a special meeting to approve asking for the conference.
Or we can give
Putting through
Mr. Rowland the authority to
Or you can do that too.
do it for us on behalf of the board. Whatever you're comfortable with.
I'm fine with that.
I don't care, whatever you think's best.
They don't have a preference either way.
Streamlining it that way.
If that's,
Whether you want to be kept in the loop or not.
I can keep them in the loop. Well,
It doesn't hurt to do a special meeting. You may even ask her to attend. I don't know.
did a special meeting, it would give the opportunity for
I was just wondering, yeah,
if the
people
community.
should be notified that you have to come out and meet and speak again.
Right.
You know, make sure that it's known that I don't think the township stance has changed from residents.
Right. So we can have a special meeting, that's fine. We'll just have to, wait to hear back and get it scheduled.
Get more information from the attorney.
I need about 48 to 72 hours to call that special meeting. You have to give notice legally. So.
All right, I worked on it all day today. I'll work on the rest of it tomorrow.
Very good. Okay, if we're done with that subject, I'll move on. The next item is a request that we received, and I sent you a copy of it. It came from Jonathan Moore down at the Germantown's Department of Public Service. He's requesting a $9,752.93 payment from the Parks Levy holdback funds to be used to purchase a new HVAC unit for the depot at Veterans Park. That unit is no longer functional and they've had to cancel events. I know I had one canceled on Saturday because there's no heat in the building at present. In fact, I understand that the city is going ahead and installing the new HVAC unit, and it may even have happened today because they didn't want to wait until your meeting tonight to see whether or not the funds would be forthcoming.
I was at the meeting and talked to Jonathan and had a repair guy there. The furnace is 20, 25 years old. Can't get no parts for it. Just, needs a new furnace.
Well, the question I have is, the depot is rented out, is it not?
Mhm.
So how does that fall? The city receives the money.
It just goes into the park fund.
Does it go into the park fund?
It's supposed to go into the park fund.
I
It
don't know, I
shows, it
just.
shows it goes into.
Okay.
So being new, I need a little bit of reference. So my understanding is we've already released our money to the parks, except for the holdback part,
So this
right?
is the holdback.
This is the whole back.
This is the holdback. So they already have a budget. They already have money in the parks already.
Well, they have money in the parks that they have already spent, already budgeted for.
This is.
This
above and
is,
beyond.
this is above and beyond, which is what the holdback money
And
is supposed to be
in
for.
our the last time when the levies came up, the original levy passed, the capital one did not. Is that correct? That's correct. Okay, so there's no capital money for that. All right, that's what I wanted to make clear. I understood
Now,
that.
this is an unforeseen expense, which is really what the holdback money is for.
As long as my curiosity was on the rental fees and if the city was, where that money was going from the rental fees.
Yes.
So.
There
as
is,
long as it's going
there
back
is
to the
a,
budget.
there is a slot that shows rental money goes. Goes there.
In theory, right? What's the amount of money we have in our current holdback fund for the park?
Excuse me, give me a second.
83 or something.
It's 80 something.
83,000 and change. Plenty.
Resolution number and then you would.
16.
I'd like to request a resolution number 2025-16 to, release, park holdback levy money of $9,752.93 to replace the HVAC, furnace in the Veterans Depot.
I'll second and I'll update it to 2026.
That'll work.
Gotcha.
Resolution 2026-16. Any discussion? I'll call the roll. Mr. Stubbs?
Yes.
Mr. Rowland?
Yes.
Mr. Potter?
Yes.
Very good. Thank you very much. Resolution 2026-16 is adopted. Do you want to contact the city? Do you want me to?
I'll let them know
Okay.
that you'll be.
And then I'll prepare a check and take it down to the city building.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, very good. Next item. Last month's meeting, Mr. Stubbs, you discussed the statement of action taken that you plan to submit to Artarma's cyber IT risk consultant, Aaron Willis, resulting from the cybersecurity recommendations that he provided to us following his site visit back in October. And at that same time, you reported that you had drafted a social media policy, disaster recovery, business continuity plan, as well as a cybersecurity and as well as a list of cybersecurity awareness training resources. I sent all those documents to all three of you. If you are ready to approve the social media policy and the disaster recovery plan, let's use two different resolutions.
Does anybody have any updates or changes they'd like to see made to the policies? Did you have any issues with it, Mark?
No,
Anything you saw?
we can always modify it later if we want to.
Okay, so I'd like to introduce resolution 2026-17, a resolution to approve the German Township social media policy as submitted in this document.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Mr. Stubbs?
Yes.
Mr. Rowland?
Yes.
Mr. Potter?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Resolution 2026-17 is adopted.
Okay, and then I'd like to introduce resolution 2026-18, a resolution to approve the German Township disaster recovery and business continuity plan as stated in this document. Unless you have an issue, anybody has any issues with that?
Can I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll. Mr. Stubbs?
Yes.
Mr. Rowland?
Yes.
Mr. Potter?
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution 2026-18 is adopted. And I believe on that list that you had of training resources, I think the Ohio, the one you mentioned earlier in the meeting, I think that was on
It
there.
was on there.
I sent the Montgomery County Auditor the Township's 2026 certificate of the total amount from all sources available for this year. The auditor uses the report I sent to turn around and prepare our official certificate of estimated resources, which should be coming, I would say, later this month. Usually it's late February. And my last item, there will be a meeting next Thursday, the 18th, at 4 o'clock of the Montgomery County Township Association. It's going to be held at the Harrison Township Hall up on, I forget what street it's on, but up in Harrison Township. I plan to attend. If anyone else wants to go and wants to carpool, be glad to go with you. And with that, I am done.
They need to push those off further into the evening like they used to be. So those of us who aren't.
Yeah, I don't know why 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
So 5 o'clock would suit you better.
I could make it at 5 o'clock. I absolutely can at 4 o'clock. Thank you for your report. I'll move on to Chief Birch's report.
The small report this month, quiet month, thank goodness. Last month, officers drove 7,814 miles, dispatched on 100 calls, and they closed 99 of those calls. There were 20 case follow-ups, 1 arrest, performed 594 business checks, 261 vacation house checks, and 1,507 occupied house checks. There were 15 crashes, 51 traffic stops, and 25 citations. On behalf of the police department, I'd like to thank the road department, Jeremy and Scott, for their undying efforts in clearing the roads. The last couple snows we've had, record snowfall, I believe. It's very important for us and obviously the residents that those roads are cleared. You guys worked your butts off on that, and I'd like to thank you guys. Thank you. That's all I had.
All right. Thank you for your report. Mr. Holbrook.
I didn't get a chance to turn in a written report, but I indicated to Mr. Eastham, I will put together a report on what I'm going to report on tonight. That we have a written document for your records. Obviously, the biggest one is snow and ice. Scott and I have been extremely busy trying to keep the roads open from the drifting snow and the multitude of inches of snow that we got over the last 20 days or so. Been super busy with that. Also wanted to report that we took delivery of all the materials for our 2026 ODOT sign replacement grant that we got, 31,000 some odd dollars for that. I have to turn in a request to proceed to ODOT before we start placing those signs, but I'm hoping to do that this year rather quickly because that's a good winter job when it's not snowing, is to go out and replace those signs. Once summer hits, we're just going to be too busy to get to it. So we did get all the materials delivered, the signs, the posts, and all the hardware that was part of that grant. And the last thing is I wanted to report that Scott and I did get a chance to go up to the OTA trade show on Thursday and spent a lot of time talking to Lead Hill about our truck they've had for over a year or so now. And supposedly it's at paint, and he indicated that we might have it by the end of February. So not holding my breath, but I kind of indicated to him our issues, displeasure of having to wait so long. Don't know how far that's going to get us, but they said it was getting close to being. So also spent some time talking to Rush Truck, the people who sold us the cab and chassis, and they told us that the warranty on that truck would not start until it's put into service here in
Oh,
Township. So
Very
we'll
good.
have its full warranty when it shows up here. So that was good.
That's good news.
Yes. Also talked to some other vendors. Nothing really out of the ordinary, but we did get a chance to go up there and at least go through the show. I did look at some of the classes that they had. A lot of them we had hit in the past, and there really just wasn't a great deal of road-oriented classes. Other than that, that's all I had to report.
you've been here long enough. You should volunteer to teach some of the.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All
My
right.
public speaking is not
Yeah,
that.
great. Thank you for your report. Mrs. Burton, hold on.
I'd just like to comment that my wife informed me that we may have a rock star among us here, who made the New York Times.
That's true.
Talk about his dedication in the middle of the night for the rest of the township. That's special, really.
It is.
Yeah.
I appreciate it as a resident too.
Yep. New York Times. Mrs. Burton.
We only had one report for the zoning report, a single family home permit. Jordan and Megan Wilkie on 15031 State Route 725. That was a permit for them.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, we will move on to trustee reports. Mr. Potter.
There was no pool meeting this month or MMI meeting. Park meeting, this month was at the city building, due to the, Depot furnace being out. And it was more of a budget meeting because the city did not include the oversight committee in the park budget for 2026. I asked about it twice in the fall, and they finally had it the Monday before Christmas. Had a further discussion about it in the January park meeting, sparking this February meeting to discuss park budget, funding, and oversight, and the role of the oversight committee. I talked to Mark Heaston about the oversight levy agreement between the city and the township, go over it. He gave me a copy of it tonight. I know that there has been some talk in the past about rewriting the levy agreements. We should probably look into that.
Get them up to date,
Get them up
all
to date.
across the board.
The one we have is from 2009, the most recent one.
We have an agreement for every one of our joint levy and oversight committees. Those agreements are not consistent across the board because I guess they were done at various times, and so they were done various ways. And ever since I got here, I've been talking to the city about that need to rewrite them. I think maybe now is the time.
Consistent across the board for all of them.
It
Like
should-
one language, one.
Yep, the oversight committee should work the same for every one of our joint levies.
Man, it's disappointing and I mean, to go that far without having, they know that the budget's for the fall and that your park budget should have been done and approved by the park board.
Yes, and I asked about it twice, and to get it in by the end of the year, we had it the Monday before Christmas.
Yeah.
So, 3 days before Christmas.
But that's we collect a lot of money from them, about half of the money they get. And this is our only control over how it gets spent. So
Yep.
it is important. And I mean, tonight's another good example of why the holdback money has been useful for everybody.
Yes,
So,
absolutely. And I brought that up at the meeting because I talked to Jonathan then and the city, so that is exactly why we do this holdback money.
yep.
Interesting, Mr. Stubbs, that you would mention how much of the total levy money comes from the township. Because prior to this meeting last week, Judy Gilliland reached out to me, asked me to verify some numbers that she was going to use in the report. for numbers, we're going to say that 2/3 of the money came from the residents of Germantown and 1/3 from the township.
That's not anywhere near accurate.
She knows better than.
It is not accurate, and I researched the last 10 years by year, by dollars, by valuation from the county website. And we're today running about 52-48.
Yeah, that's 50, it's right at 50-50.
Always within a percent or two of being 50-50.
It has, the percentages have skewed more towards the city slightly in the last 10 years, but nothing like she had in her mind, which was 2/3, 1/3.
And I told them this years ago. If they don't like the fact that we want to have the oversight, which is our legal responsibility, they can run their own levies and they do not need us to do that. And they'll lose 1/3 apparently is all they're going to lose. So I guess it won't be that bad for them.
I'll just publicly say on the record, on the recording, Judy knows those percent, the correct percent.
Mr. Keener and I met with her years ago, and that was, I believe one of the topics of discussion was it was the 50-50-ish.
Well, and she gives a copy of the allocation of the shared road amount per year, shows, well, I always did them, it shows that breakdown, total valuation cost, so that we get the right number given down to them. But yeah, she knows. She's not dumb.
Well, I think when she finally came to the meeting last week, I think she used my percentages rather than hers.
She did.
I would
Yep,
suggest that.
yep.
The real ones, that's what I would go with.
Of course, if I did that, it'd be real.
Absolutely. That concludes my.
All right, thank you, Mr. Potter. Mr. Rowland.
I went to the Germantown City Council meeting on February 2nd. Steve Mersch spoke about Weaver Road and between Hickory Point and the new development that they have there. They're having some people going across from sidewalks from one side of the road to the other, concerned about speed limits. So the city was going to look into this crosswalk there or something for more safe crossing Weaver Road there.
Like down at the church?
Yes, down at the church. Because they have sidewalk and then they have a sidewalk on the other side and they're not connected. And so they have to cross the road to get from one side to the other. Right now, there's nothing there. There's no crosswalk. There's no anything.
Whole jaywalk.
Well, and the speed limit's I think it's 35 down through there, which is pretty fast if you're going to have young kids and people crossing the road. So they were going to look at that. And then I mentioned also the senior center will be doing taxes for people that like them done. All you need to do is call the senior center to set up an appointment to have taxes done. And then I'd like to speak about our zoning or it's the issues. Me as having new people, myself and Janet as in the zoning thing, I have not fully understood what was going on and we made some mistakes and we have to cancel the meeting for tomorrow night. And so the meetings that was going to be scheduled tomorrow night for the BZAs had to be moved out to next month. So I would just like to say that we fixed that problem and those issues and it won't happen in the future.
No, not a problem. Anything else? That's it. All right, not an issue.
I got one more thing. I do want to thank Jeremy and Scott for their hard work during the snowstorms. There was a lot of snowing and blowing in the township.
Lou would know because Lou came out and drove truck one night. So we appreciated it.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right, that makes it my report. So I've got a couple different things tonight. I'll try to be relatively quick. Starting with the cemetery, the garage door mechanics failed on one of the doors, the parts, and so we had to have both doors, the parts replaced. One was unusable, the other was on its way. So that was in the last month. The cemetery roads, the hills are still closed due to the snow and slickness. I know Keith said he got a couple, not complaints, but just concerns on why he hadn't opened them yet. This last winter, a year ago, when he cleared the hills, somebody slid off, even though he cleared it, and got stuck, and we had to have they had to have a tow truck in there at like 8 o'clock on a Sunday night to get him off the hill. So, safety reasons are the reasons we didn't open up the outside hills, at this time. Keith has done a great job keeping it up. The Kubota and all the gate or Kubota, whatever, keeping it clean and passable so people can get in and out. There's just a few hills that we have not been able to close or to open. The flagpole, the payment came in from the insurance and we're good to go. So we've been fully reimbursed on the flagpole. I did not have that on my report. And then lastly, for the cemetery, the 2025 financials have been completed and are up on the open checkbook for the state of Ohio as well. Quick WRCG update. We met last month. As Mr. Heaston mentioned earlier, Lisa Kazarek is the new fiscal officer for the group. So the Jackson Township now has the fiscal responsibilities, and I believe our previous agreement was for 2 years, that it was going to stay with the same person for 2 years. So that should keep it off of us for several more, because in theory, it should go to Perry.
I did more than 2 years.
I know you did.
I think I did 4.
I think you did too, so we'll hold him to that.
We'll let Lisa do 4.
We'll let Lisa do 4. That sounds good to me. The last meeting we met, we discussed a few potential changes, nothing major to the contract. We know that Republic, Waste Management, and Rumpke have all expressed interest in bidding this time. We're going to meet again here in a week or so to go over some more details of what we were looking for. I contacted Kirsten Knight, who was our legal representative last time we did this, and she is willing to represent us again. And she gave me a ballpark figure, best she could, as long as we don't throw a lot of things at her. $3,000 would be a maximum, unless we're making her come to meetings and having her create documents, which I don't see a reason to do. And that was on the high end. And that would be approximately 10 hours of work. So, let's see. Oh, I spoke with Waste Management at the OTA. If they do bid on ours and get it, they do require the use of their cans. You have to put the trash in their cans, and all trash service is automated. Their trucks are all automated. So it's got the arm that comes out and grabs it and throws it in. They do not offer pickup. You have to use their can, and the can is provided by Waste Management. Just that funny forward.
There's no rental on that.
From what they said when I talked to them, no, it comes with the contract.
But if you have extra stuff
That's-
that week, you can't put it as separate, another can out there.
Because they will not dump it. They'll
They
only
will not
dump.
dump
That's
one can a week.
That's going to be the problem.
That's gonna be the problem.
For sure.
Can you rent an additional can?
Now, I'm sure you can. They said, but they're only going to pick up their green.
Their can.
Their cans are the only ones.
But if you produce a lot of trash, and you know
So
that,
we just need to make sure that we put that in their quote of if someone wants more than one can.
Yep.
What will that, how will that
The
affect?
cost of it.
Yeah, what would be the cost of that?
So that was Rumpke that said that, or?
No, that is Waste Management.
The Rumpke, you have to rent your own.
But they do
And you
provide.
put all your own out there. Put 5 out there if you want.
But the difference is,
I was making sure.
yeah, the difference is that Waste Management just uses the automated trucks. So that's no touch for any of the drivers. The arm just grabs it and throws it in. So that's why they have to have the same, everybody has to have the same can. So
Just
just,
also an issue on can placement when the arm does it.
right.
And if a resident doesn't put it at the right place, I'm not sure what happens to their trash that week.
Yeah, so, I mean,
It's left there till next week.
so I know there's been a lot of issues that we've had with Rumpke, and I don't know who's gonna end up getting the bid or not, but that's definitely gonna be something to take into consideration, because especially out here in the farms and the agricultural area, there's times when people have a lot of extra trash, whether it be feeding animals or whatnot. So that could definitely be an issue for our residents. So that's definitely on the radar as we go forward. A quick update from the OTA. I would just like to mention that all three of your trustees completed the public records training, which is required for each term. We all completed that this last week. It's 4 hours of our life we're never getting back, but it was all for you guys. So just realize the dedication that we put in for that. And there's another one next year, just so you know,
Thanks.
3 or 4 more hours. So
I'm sure you slept through half of it.
I was wide awake. But they do a great job, and it's obviously the most exciting topic, but they do cover a lot of information that is important that you should definitely do. Probably not in the last 2 months of your term, like a former trustee, she may have done or not done. So I would recommend doing it early in your term because it's important for the, for as, you know, just knowing the rules and the laws that you have to follow. So there were several informative sessions that I attended. One of obviously the hot topic right now is the potential elimination of sales tax, or not sales tax, property tax in Ohio. We were even blessed with Governor DeWine coming to speak at the main session. Basically, there's no plan from the state legislature at this point in time if this ballot initiative is to be successful. So the goal, I think, for the group is to get it on the ballot this November. It's a citizen-led group. It's not the state government. It's just citizens doing this. It sounds like Governor DeWine had said that if this were to pass, they would foresee a potential 20% sales tax and a significant rise in income tax to make up the difference. So obviously he was not in favor of it. They had a panel that spoke who was not in favor of it. But I think there's an issue that they need to look at. We know statewide that property taxes are out of control. So they need to do something about it before this happens and not after and be reactive. They need to be proactive and potentially get a solution that keeps this off the ballot and maybe caps property taxes at a reasonable level. If you look at the last 25-ish years or so, property taxes have increased significantly over the rate of inflation. And I think that's why people are upset. That's not followed the same increase. It's just shot up. I already mentioned the Cyber Range Institute earlier. I will be reaching out to them to see what they can do for us. I would also like to mention that our state representative, Rodney Creech, was the only local legislature to show up at the OTA reception at the State House. So it was good to talk to him. He asked for our meeting schedule and would like to attend another meeting in the future, as he is on the ballot this May for his final term in the State House. So I'll get him our meeting schedule and we'll get him back here. It's always nice to have him around.
He's a good man.
He does a good job. I mean, I've been here long enough. You see people come and go. I feel like when he gives out his cell phone, he gave us his cell phone number. Like he answers his phone when you call him, and he'll answer. If I text him and say, "Hey, our meetings are this date," he'll respond back, "Hey, I can't make it this month, but I'll put you on." He's right away, and he does a good job. He cares. I've not seen that from a lot of them, but he definitely does do a good job of at least being accessible to us, which is more than anybody's ever done before him. The America 250, I did request the America 250 flag be sent to the Township and the Historical Society. Whatever day you sent me the information, I did it. So hopefully we'll receive it soon.
Well, since the Township got theirs, or the cemetery has theirs, hopefully we'll see ours soon.
I used I filled out the survey again and it let me do it. And then I filled it out a third time for the Historical Society and it denied me. So I used a different email address. I don't know. So we'll see. But they're signed up as a partner too. So that's why I think that we all
They're partners of us.
Right. So hopefully we're able to get the packet for all of us.
Thank you.
This is kind of just a pipe dream kind of, but we got an email a month or two ago from the Liberty Tree Society of the United States. And they were trying to, well, they were offering an American Liberty tree for sale. Specifically for the American 250. And with the tree, you get a plaque and you get a certificate that goes in your town hall. And so I emailed them and I'm like, what are we talking about here? Unfortunately, this is in New Hampshire. So it came with significant shipping costs, but for $4,000, and I'm not suggesting we do this, and it will be funded 100% by donations if we do, you get a 35-foot American Liberty elm shipped, that's including shipping, and the plaque and everything that goes with it. And the tree is a descendant of Herbie, the 1770s New England disease-resistant American Liberty elm. So I've been looking at ways to fund a potential tree, an American Liberty tree. Sons of Liberty, Boston Tea Party. This is the historical perspective of where this is coming from. And I've talked to Keith at the cemetery as a potential place to put it, as a place of reverence and where it's not at a park and will get necessarily torn up by kids and who don't understand the respect and the meaning of it. So I just wanted to get it out there. I've mentioned it to the Lions Club, to Mr. Bowman at the Lions Club. I'm just wanted to throw it out there if anybody's interested in it. I don't know where it'll go. It may not happen. It may, but I just thought it was an interesting, neat idea for our historic cemetery that has at least 3 Revolutionary War era veterans or supporters of the revolution in it. So that's just to get that out there.
May I add to that?
Sure.
I have good news for you.
Okay.
At Saturday's Lions Board meeting, the board is pledging $1,000
Oh, okay.
to the project.
Okay.
They did have some ideas about placement.
Sure.
In addition to the cemetery itself, it was mentioned that maybe it should be at Weber Park by the concession stand restroom area. At the cemetery itself, there was talk of whether it could be at the very front entrance.
Okay.
By the main sign.
Okay.
Or up by the flagpole, a place of prominence, as you mentioned.
Yep.
I also wanted to mention a couple of years ago, when we first got wind of the Ohio 250, there were commitments made by the city of Germantown.
Yep.
By this trustee board, as well as by the Historical Society, to contribute up to $1,000 from each entity as seed money for the celebration. We've not been asked to give our 1,000.
Okay.
Nor has the city, nor has the Historical Society. If each of us kicked in our 1,000 that we promised for the 250 celebration, you would now have your money.
Another interesting place, I think, and this kind of just hit me, is the MMI.
That's what I was about to say.
So the cemetery, we were kind of limited on where we could go with it. So I'm wondering if that would be
Possible.
a possibility.
Yeah.
Because
To be considered.
my consideration when we were thinking of the cemetery was we have Memorial Day there, so people come and that's a place, but Memorial Day is also at Veterans Park. So if we could have
Well, that was another mention, was veterans, but this tree is so much bigger
yeah,
than any other.
I wouldn't want veterans, and I'm not sure I'd want Kircher / Weber, just because of the,
Yeah.
not necessarily vandalism, but people tearing it up, kids playing on it.
Well, and a lot of the non-community people that would be around it.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be a central place for our city.
Right.
Whether it be the cemetery, MMI Park, someplace that will.
I think those are the 2 best locations in my mind.
So if you as trustees want to now allocate your 1,000 to this project,
Let's not do it tonight.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
get,
we did.
let's make sure.
you're gonna need to move soon because you need to get that thing planted in the spring.
For sure.
And
Who is in charge of that, the Ohio 250 that we're talking about for the community?
For our community?
Yeah.
Who is,
City.
There is no.
There isn't, well, there's no,
There is no committee for the money then?
so we met, yeah,
Because I know that somebody had mentioned that to me before, that we,
So it was brought up at the park board meeting the other day, just a conversation of trying to figure out something. Sherry, I don't forget her last name, but
Shelley Powers?
owns a Florentine.
Oh,
Sherry
Sherry
Hansen.
Hansen.
Sherry Henson. She's a little bit in charge of this. And instead of having one celebratory event, they're talking about having, a little something at 4th of July, pretzel festival. Just spread it out over the summer, over the whole year, instead of just having one event.
Yeah.
So the money could still be used possibly before we move it somewhere else. We need to give them just
for sure.
a little bit more time.
Yep, but I'll.
She's new and she was disappointed to this.
Okay.
Right.
That was just an idea. I mean,
We'll figure out a way of doing it for sure, I think.
okay.
As far as getting paid for it, we'll have to.
Do you have a spotted MMI that would be
appropriate.
potentially?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's 10 acres up there, so. So, yeah, I mean, there'd be a place there right off the parking lot that I think would be very nice.
Okay. Well,
I'm just saying, if I was you, I would move forward on what we need to
okay.
do. I think we won't have any problem coming up $4,000 to get it paid for.
Okay.
Like Mark says, we need to get the thing.
Yep. No, I agree. So I will.
Get the thing coming.
I didn't want to get too far ahead of myself, so I'll reach out to them again this week and make sure we're still on track. And it's a 35 to 40 foot tree with a 25 to 3,500 pound root ball, so it's a good sized thing. And if anybody has a truck and trailer that wants to drive to New Hampshire in February, please let me know.
Price is not bad to have Eddie for it out here.
Yeah, that was the quote they gave me. So, I've got a zoning thing, but I'm just going to give that copy to you guys and we can review it next month as this has gone long enough. So, with that, I'd just like to thank Jeremy. Did I say that yet? You guys did a great job.
Thank you.
Hey, I only got one complaint. It was from somebody who knew better. So I think you guys did a great job. And it's a record once in a generation snowfall, and all these north-south roads are impossible to keep clean with the wind coming across. So I think you guys did a great job. I think 99% of the people in the community would think you guys did a great job with the 2 people we have to clear the roads, and Mr. Potter, of course, jumping in. So appreciate it. You guys did a great job.
I appreciate it.
I think they deserve a round of applause. Oh, his head is so big, I'm not sure how you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think you deserve a new dump truck. So maybe.
Unfortunately, it's not going to go to me.
Yeah. So that concludes my report. Is there any new business or old business, Mr.?
Question.
Sure.
With regard to the recent snow, I want to talk for a minute.
David Garone, right?
Garone, Keith Road,
Thank you.
about those people who live out in our township that we don't know because they don't know our neighbors anymore. We don't even care about them much, but some of them haven't got their driveway cleaned yet. Now, this is bad for people who have neighbors and don't take care of them, don't care about them, don't watch over them. I don't want to be one of those. So here's my question. In the township, on the website or anywhere, is there a list compiled of people who will clean out a driveway, get paid for it? I don't expect them to do it for free, but people who are available to help people who can't do it themselves. Whether they can afford it or not, I don't know. If they can afford the house, they should be able to take care of their driveway. They can't shovel it.
Yeah, there is not a list on our website currently.
Is there some way to, something you think the township could do to help? Because I get calls that because they know I got a snow blower,
Yeah,
that don't work right now. But anyway, I don't know who to call either.
no, I think,
I cleaned out 18 of my neighbors
Good for
this
you.
stuff.
I appreciate that.
It
Really
really
did.
stop that. Yeah.
I think the only problem would be that as long as no one took it as like, that was our recommendation or
Right.
endorsement. So, I mean, if we could come up with a way to compile a list that keeps the liability off of us if something
Right.
were to
You
happen.
wouldn't want to do that.
Right. That would be my only concern is the liability, some type of liability. So if we can figure a way.
A lot of times advertisers come up on one of the Germantown
The Facebook group.
Facebook page. Yeah, they're just there.
Yeah, marketplace.
Yeah, you can easily find them.
There're just a lot of people, it's not even on, older people's not on Facebook.
I think it's the older people. He has a
ones-
very good point.
the ones that need it.
Take care of each other
Right.
anymore.
That's
And he has a good point. We have a lot of older people in the township and they get overlooked.
so I don't know how to,
Well, just put it in your minds.
yeah.
I mean, it's going to happen next year.
Okay.
Winter
Well,
comes.
maybe,
I wonder if we can make a business directory that if anybody wants to sign up, we can put them on it.
maybe a chief,
Maybe our.
as you guys do your
Checks.
checks, any driveway that's not been plowed out? Is that something that can be noticed?
Yes.
I mean,
We can discuss it.
we could discuss. I mean, that's the only way I know that it gets around the whole township. It's you guys.
Directory rest, they have to be
I
careful.
was just gonna say, if they don't get on Facebook, do they get on the website? That was my question.
That's why if we had like a business list. they could
You get on the
sign up.
website then?
It has
Do you
to-
get on?
I
our-
can't.
You have to say that this is not.
That's why I was just checking, because if people don't get on our Facebook. if they
Well,
don't get on the Reddit.
just thinking about it is enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me think about it, because my only.
People out here who don't have somebody to turn to.
Right.
I got another question.
Sure.
Is bottom of Siegel Road Hill better now for people's not stopping?
We have written many citations.
I assume
It's
that.
unbelievable how many we've written. I think we're still getting video.
We're still
evidence of
getting
people
video.
doing it. But I'm hoping as we continue to write these citations,
Word
that
will get
people are
out.
getting the message that we're not
Okay, that's
standing
cool.
for.
Well, and then since the last meeting, it was during that snow, right? We had the semi get stuck going up that hill.
Yeah.
Well, I think the problem there is the GPS thing takes them down Mudlick Road and up Siegel Road Hill. They shouldn't be there at all.
They should not be,
Most-
but we can't do any, we've tried to
Yeah.
limit that in the
Our
past.
county
We're not allowed to
engineer
do anything with
Back
that.
us up.
Because they should be a no truck road. The road's too narrow, that hill's too steep, the stop sign, there's no way.
It's very hard on the equipment. Those, you take a truck up that hill, you're hurting it.
Yeah, well, the truck didn't quite make it up that hill and ended up at the bottom and it jackknifed.
In a
So
pile.
If they had something posted down at the senior center, would that help at all with what you're talking about?
I don't know. I would think it would.
I mean, that way we could invite anybody who wanted to post something down there. If they do it, they could post something maybe down there at the senior center. And that way nobody's endorsing anybody.
Yeah.
It's just a place.
It's a good idea. Senior center is a good place to get it known.
Okay.
I was talking to the chief today about the blocks you folks invested in, and he's putting together something to get the word out. And the senior center is a good target audience for a presentation. Because about 20 minutes, everybody in town know about it.
Yeah,
I'll contact the senior center about that.
all right. Any other comments tonight? With that, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn at 8:25.
Say,
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I hope not. 8:25, we are adjourned.